On the morning of March 5th, 2013, the streets of Caracas were filled with people. Some were cheering, others were weeping, but there was nobody who could deny the importance of that day. Hugo Chavez, president of Venezuela, was dead. To his supporters, he was a vigorous advocate for the poor and an unceasing enemy of imperialism. To his foes, he was the corrupter of Venezuelan democracy and a populist strongman. Regardless of one's opinion of Chavez, his policies, the Bolivarian Revolution, have had a significant impact on the history of Venezuela in the 21st century. Taking its name from Simón Bolívar, the 19th century father of Latin American independence, the Bolivarian Revolution represents the economic and social policies of Hugo Chavez, often called Chavismo. The economic aspects of the revolution included an increase in government programs along with the nationalization of previously privatized industries. These programs were successful in their goals of poverty reduction. Unemployment under Chavez decreased from 14.5% in 1999 to 7.8% in 2012, with extreme poverty falling from 19.9% to 8.6% in the same period. The Bolivarian Revolution also extended into the region of foreign policy. Similar to Simón Bolívar's idea of a pan-Latin American state, Venezuela under Chavez pursued a policy of regional integration with other Latin American nations with similar ideologies. The Venezuelan government also positioned its foreign policy in contrast to the U.S. This could be seen in the development of a regional trade bloc called Alianza Bolivariana para los Pueblos de Nuestra América, or ALBA, that focused on providing an alternative to the free trade agreements supported by the U.S. ALBA has been joined by other pan-national Venezuelan projects like Telesur, a regional media conglomerate, and Petrosur, a regional energy agreement among member states of ALBA. The legacy of the Bolivarian Revolution is bitterly contested both within and outside of Venezuela. Supporters of the revolution claim that its support came from groups historically excluded from the political process like urban workers, rural peasants, and indigenous people. Scholars like Cristobal Valencia Ramirez, in their article Who Are the Chavistas, written during Chavez's lifetime, point out that the Chavistas are an ideologically diverse group hailing from different segments of previously marginalized civil society. This includes the traditional left, but also the middle class. Ramirez writes, quote, "Whereas the left struggles for radical change, the middle-class sectors hope to end the clientelistic relationships that are fundamentally interested in the quotas of power. During the initial stages of the Bolivarian Revolution, there was widespread hope that the government would be able to challenge the traditional elites of Venezuela and build a more democratic society. However, as the revolution became more institutionalized, concerns began to rise regarding the government's conduct. An article published by Professor Kirk Hawkins discussed the mixed results of the Bolivarian reforms, particularly those related to democratic participation and decentralization. Quote, "Chavez and many of his closest allies almost immediately sought to re-centralize government functions around his charismatic persona, ostensibly with the purpose of carrying out their democratic revolution. Hence, local government allocations were increasingly controlled and manipulated by the president, and secondary associations unaligned with the government quickly found themselves cut off from government commissions and financial support. Actions like the arrest of his opponent Manuel Rosales in the 2006 election and the abolition of term limits in 2009 led to fears among the opposition that Chavez was subverting Venezuelan democracy. The Bolivarian Revolution is generally considered to have ended with the death of Chavez in 2013 and the ascension of Nicolas Maduro to the presidency. Noting the institutional power now possessed by Maduro, some scholars have made the claim that Chavistas have gone from opposing hegemonic systems to building their own corrupt hegemony. Opposition forces are especially concerned with the new local governments created by Chavez. Scholars Daniel Hellinger and Anthony Spankos point out that, quote, "At the same time, there have been concerns that the communal councils have been partisanized, and that even the communal council has supported the people in the central government, power dynamics and inefficiencies prevail. Much of the concerns of the anti-Bolivarian opposition seem to have been vindicated by the actions of Nicolas Maduro, especially after the brutal crackdown of protesters in the aftermath of the 2015 elections. Despite starting out as a libertarian movement against traditional hegemonic powers within Venezuela and achieving many boons for the poorer aspects of Venezuelan society, the Bolivarian Revolution ultimately established new hierarchies to take the place of the old."